She likes to laugh uncontrollably. Her laugh is infectious. She hopes you'll catch it. Please welcome to the stage, making her stand-up comedy debut, Miss Kira Hirsch.
I don't mean to be rude, but it's hard when my grandma calls. She's like, hello, it's me. It sounds like you don't smoke 12 packs of cigarettes. It's hard to start a conversation with an old lady. I'll call my grandmother and say, what did you do today, Grandma? And she'll be like, what did I smell today? My mom's like, she can't hear you. I'm like, never mind hearing. That doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's because the Wheel of Fortune is blasting in the background. I'm like, hey Grandma, can I buy a vowel? I hate fish. The texture, the flavor. It's just so fishy. It's like licking the bottom of the ocean. I tried flounder once. For the record, it doesn't taste like chicken. In the summer, I go to a Harry Potter camp. I like it and all, but there's a flaw. The camp is broken up into different houses. People are like, Gryffindor is courageous and good. But if you're from Slytherin, you're an evil, dark wizard who doesn't have blood purity. They're houseists. I'm a kid. It's summer camp. I just want to make fake potions with borax and roast marshmallows. I hate when my mom treats me like I'm 3. I'm 11. She always repeats everything to me. She's like, Kira, brush your teeth. Kira, did you brush your teeth yet? I've been brushing my teeth every night since I was 2. I think I've got the routine down by now. I think she has trust issues. Worst place I've ever been is Field Station Dinosaur. It's in the Meadowlands. You have to walk through dusty trails, trees and tall grass. This is no place for a kid with seasonal allergies. My head swelled up, my eyes were bulging, and I was wheezing and spewing mucus. I looked like a T-Rex that just hatched out of an egg. People thought I was an exhibit. There were uncaged mechanical dinosaurs roaring at kids with their big plastic teeth. It was like Jurassic Park, but not at all. It's basically the meanest place you could take your toddler ever. Little kids were like, ah! I feel embarrassed when I fart at school. But I've discovered a trick. Now, whenever I pass gas, I just look at the person on my left. Too bad the last time it was my teacher. Don't you hate when you're talking to someone and then you realize they walked away? I guess you didn't value my opinion on the book fair. Kids are selfish. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting, said no 10-year-olds ever. Don't you ever notice that kids don't ask anyone about themselves? No little kid is ever going to say, tell me more about you. For instance, I went to Australia for a month. When I got back, I saw my friends, and I said, I just fed kangaroos in Australia. And she's like, okay, let's make slime. My music teacher does a weird warm-up to spa music. She really lets it rip when she sings in class. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh. I think she's using her time in class to shine. I guess you could say the 5th graders are a captive audience. Literally, we can't leave. My parents make me play the piano. They say I'm really good at it, but I don't like it. I think they just want me to be the next Taylor Swift so they could live the life of luxury. Instead of singing about old boyfriends, I can sing about how my parents did me wrong. My dad is a great baker. He makes scones, brownies, cookies. My mom bakes, but she tries to make everything healthy. She's like, try this banana flaxseed zucchini muffin. Vegetables and baked goods? That's crossbreeding. Donald Trump says he wants to make America great again by sending the immigrants away. So, Mr. Trump, what time is Melania's flight leaving? Thank you.
Would rather spend time with her dog than anyone else. Woof. That's what it says. I said, do you want me to bark like a dog? She goes, no, just say woof. Making her stand-up comedy debut, please welcome the lovely and talented Miss Flora Max.
Boys and girls do pair dancing, as if being a preteen wasn't hard enough. She paired us with a boy by height. I was paired with a 5-foot-tall delinquent. I said to my dance teacher, why can't I dance with my friend Sarah? She said, because in the real world, boys can't dance with boys and girls can't dance with girls. I was like, have you seen Glee? Or the calendar, because it's 2017. Fun and dance with our friends. This is Montclair, not Footloose. I knew my school was old. I didn't realize it was old school. The dance teacher directed us through this complicated choreography, made us dance in pairs, and lectured us about rhythm. Then a few hours before our recital, she said, you kids didn't do a good enough job, so we have to cancel the show. Who exactly didn't do a good enough job? I guess I know who. Shortly afterwards, she got retired. My English teacher asked us to write an essay. I wanted to do a good job, so I wrote 10 pages. She cut it down to 5 paragraphs. And then said it was not a good story, and I didn't show knowledge on the subject. I told her my knowledge was on page 6. 10 pages cut down to 5 paragraphs. If she had been Tolstoy's editor, it would have just been called War. There literally would have been no peace. That's like cutting the game out of the Hunger Games. If I complain about a teacher, my parents write to them, tell them what I said, and then send me to school with them all day. This system is not working. That's like if I told my mom's boss what my mom said about her being lazy, and then sent them to work together all day. Awkward. I think people should stop talking so much. I think there should be a law that people can't talk unless they have something interesting to say. Sometimes the kids at school get mad at me when I read while they talk to me. When these kids talk, it's like white noise. And I can read and get what I need from an air conditioner at the same time. I I'd rather spend time with my dog than a lot of people. The only problem with my dog is that he eats everything. Everything. Recently, he ate my earring. I know this because I found it in a pile of stuff in the backyard. It's like, long time no see. We once had a cleaner who was from Poland. She told us that in Poland she had a law degree, but now that she moved to the US, it wasn't valid and she had to clean houses. How bad was Poland exactly? My parents have low tolerance for bad grades. I know this because once I got a 91. I know, horrifying. My mom was like, a 91? Do you want to end up living under a bridge? I was like, does it have Wi-Fi? I mean, really, do we have a national epidemic of bridge-dwelling honor students? My parents are supportive, though. They say things like, you can be anything you want when you grow up, except uneducated, and broke, and living under a bridge. When I was born for 2 days, my name was Abigail Layla Dorothy Max, but my parents had the brilliant idea to rename me Flora. You could say they have trouble making decisions. They'd be terrible judges. Guilty or not guilty? Let me consult my decision-making system. Eeny, meeny, miny. Thank you.
Flora Max! Okay, here it is. On the weekend, she is a film director who likes to boss people around. Also, she thinks that nothing tastes good without ketchup. Long pause. A long pause, she told me. Okay, please welcome to stage the fabulous Olivia Langton!
I'm so excited to be doing comedy. My mom taught us that funny lasts longer than pretty. My mom also taught us that the only thing that matters is what's on the inside. Then she went upstairs and put on makeup, jewelry, and heels to go to a 2-year-old's birthday party. I have food allergies. I'm allergic to dairy, egg, and nuts. What the heck am I supposed to eat? I hate when people say, you're allergic to dairy? Can you eat bananas? Not if they came out of a cow. They'll say, can you eat this cheese pizza? That depends. Would you give Superman kryptonite? Going to bed is hard. I can't fall asleep because I'm afraid at night. My mom will come in and be like, don't worry, it's not real, just go to sleep. My problems aren't real, don't worry. How am I supposed to sleep with that guy in my closet and those snakes under my bed? When my mom is having an anxiety attack, you don't see me telling her, don't worry, you're not old and running out of money. My dad is English. It's really cool because sometimes I pretend he's a really strict professor at Hogwarts. Who lost his magical powers? My dad kind of acts like a professor in the house. He's always lecturing us and trying to teach us stuff. Yesterday, he taught us about synonyms. That's when a word means exactly the same as another word. When he finished, I said, that lecture was tedious, dull, and boring. The marketing on DVD cases is so stupid. On the back, it will say, will they make it to the end? Will they survive? I hope so. There's 6 more Harry Potter books. My mom is forgetful. She walks into a room and says, what was I gonna do again? Replace my tooth fairy money you took when you tipped the pizza delivery guy? If my grandma was on a dating website, her profile would say, loves cooking, cleaning, and long walks on the beach. My grandpa's profile would say, loves eating, making a mess, and when my grandma goes for long walks on the beach. They're a perfect match! sister and I got sick a lot this winter. Between all of us, we had 3 flus, 1 stomach virus, and 6 strep throats. One day, my mom was looking under the couch, and I said, "What are you looking for?" She said, "Your immunity." We really want a dog, but our dad won't let us. He's like, "You don't even play with your cat." Our cat is 18. I think it's more like our cat won't play with us. But I'm ready. I'm totally prepared for having an annoying creature needing something every minute. I have a 5-year-old brother. My mother always tells us never to talk to strangers. Then, every year, she brings us to a mall and makes us sit on a strange man's lap with a fake beard and tell him our secret wish. I'm 9. That's getting creepy. Besides, what's with these mall Santas anyway? One year, Santa had a southern accent, and then last year, Santa was Chinese. At least that explains why all my toys say made in China. My family is so busy with all our fun activities, sports, lessons, and birthday parties that we keep forgetting to be happy. My mom is such a worrier and so paranoid about everything, I can't enjoy anything anymore. I'll be with my friends and say things like, "Cut those grapes in half, you'll choke. Put that pen down, you'll lose an eye. Don't step on a crack, you'll break somebody's back." I love stuffed animals. I have hundreds. To clarify, by stuffed animals, I don't mean taxidermy. I'm not that weird. Why do people want to stuff their dead pets anyway? You don't see random stuffed people lying around, do you? Like, yes, my grandma used to make cookies and give hugs, but now she just sits in that chair and stares all day. My dad took us to see the Intrepid Museum in New York City. It was amazing. We saw jet fighters, a submarine, and a space shuttle. But when my mom asked how it was, my 5-year-old brother said, "I got Sour Patch Kids in the vending machine." That's all he cared about. He didn't even remember anything else. We could have just taken him to a laundromat. I guess the good news is that he's kind of a cheap date. I can picture him when he grows up taking a girl out to dinner. He'll be like, "What would you like, A4 or C12? Do you have any quarters?" Thank you.
So our next comic coming to the stage. She's coming to the stage, right? Okay, she is a poet who rides horses, loves eel, and hates peppers, and frankly doesn't know why her mother put them on her plate last week. Making her stand-up comedy debut, I want you to give a lot of love for Miss India Chandler.
Cheeks and say, "Look how much you've grown." Of course I've grown. I'm a kid. I'm in the developmental stages of my life. Can you imagine if I said that to them? "Look how much you've grown, Mrs. Smith." Sideways. I hate when kids at school try to be popular and cool. They wear sunglasses when it's rainy, brag, and exaggerate. They're like, "I just got the new iPhone 10. "Really? Well, I just read a book. You should try it sometime." I'm bilingual. Thank you. The problem is, my second language is useless because I'll never have the opportunity to speak it. I speak Hebrew. What's the point in learning a language if you have to fly halfway across the world to speak it? I might as well have learned Elvish from The Lord of the Rings. If I had wanted to learn a language that would be useful for my future, looks like I should have learned Russian. All they've taught us at Hebrew school so far is to say what we've had for breakfast. If I ever go to Israel, I sure hope that they have an IHOP. My name is India, but my gym teacher just can't get it right. He's like, "Asia, go but get the ball. China, block that pass. homework on his old computer. It's really old. I think they call it a laptop. It's basically the 8-track tape of computers. It's older than some of my dad's t-shirts. It takes a while to warm up, has a delayed reaction when I prompt it, and I'm always afraid it's going to die in the middle of work. His computer is basically like Jeff Sessions. Applebee's isn't very good. It's impossible to eat healthy there. We asked for grilled chicken and they said, "Do you want potato skins and bacon with that?" "No, just grilled chicken." "Okay, can I get you a side of the bloomin' onion?" I love horseback riding, but of course I do. I'm from New Jersey, and nothing says equine beauty like the Pulaski Skyway. Some of New Jersey's biggest cities wear their horseback riding reputations proudly. There's Upper Saddle River, Colts Neck, Saddle Brook, and Glue Factory Bayonne. I love horses so much that I've read a lot of books on their evolution. Horses belong to the Equus family. New Jersey is home to other creatures within the Equus family. These tend to have small brains, crave bales of carbohydrates, and often surrender to more dominant species. Namely, zebras, donkeys, and Chris Christie. A weird fact about horses is that they are measured in hands. Like, I rode a horse that was 14 hands. Why do we measure horses in hands and people in feet? By the way, sir, you're about 22 hands wide. You might want to cut that ice cream out of your diet. My little sister gets away with everything. No matter what she does, my mother has the same excuse. She's 4. Really? What does that mean exactly? And how long can this go on? When she's twice divorced and gets fired from her job, will my mom say, "She can't help it, she's 43? My mom is obsessed with yoga. She got her yoga teaching certificate, so she's always trying to push her yoga rules onto our chaotic house. When she's practicing, we're always afraid to walk by her room because she might pull us in for some sun salutations. We'll be running around yelling and wrestling on the couch, and she'll be like, "Namaste, you brats!" Thank you.
India Sharma! From the show, our next comic, coming to the stage, don't mind, is making her 3rd visit to Gotham and still waiting to run into Ellen DeGeneres. She belongs to a traveling tap dance troupe and is an actress as well as a comic. She puts the fun in funny and the sass in sassy. Please welcome Miss Gabby Nucci!
I'm in middle school now. One of the biggest challenges of middle school is that it's hard to get to class on time. Especially when you have to walk past a group of 13-year-old girls who haven't seen each other in 5 minutes. They're like, "Jessica? Oh my God, Jessica! See you at the next reunion, after math." Here's how you know if a teenage girl is about to be mean to you. She'll say, "I'm not trying to be mean, but you look really bad in that dress and your face is ugly. See you at my party next weekend." We have a teacher at my school who loves to give detention. In detention, our punishment is being left alone with our thoughts. Thoughts? I haven't had any of those since they invented Wi-Fi. Hairless cats are weird. Why would anyone want one as a pet? I mean, who wants to cuddle with a skinny, hairless grape with whiskers? Oh yeah, my grandma does. Speaking of my grandpa, he's Italian. But he thinks he's more Italian than he really is. He's from that well-known Italian village of Belleville, New Jersey. My grandpa's always bringing food over. For him, food equals love. My mom gained 5 pounds of love over the holidays. My grandma yells at my grandpa all the time. The other day, she even yelled at him because he let her sleep late in the morning. She was like, "Joe, I slept till 10 a.m. and you didn't wake me. I could have been dead." why my mom calls my grandparents the Costanzas. My grandma is very high-tech. She has an iPhone, an iPad, and her own Instagram account. Her most recent post was a picture of Grumpy Cat with the words, "current mood." My grandpa talks about the war a lot. I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't really think he ever went to battle. He keeps saying things like, "D-Day was terrible back at the Battle of Belleville. They closed the donut shop." I think he's just having flashbacks of a town meeting. He talks about the war a lot in Dunkin' Donuts. I think he just wants the veteran discount. My grandparents keep replacing their animals and then calling them by the same name. Currently, their cat is Amelia 3.0. If they replace their pets that easily, I'm gonna have to watch my back around here. I'm Catholic and go to church every Sunday. I like church because you see your friends, eat some bread, and drink some wine. In my house, this is also called Tuesday night. The bread and wine symbolize Jesus' body and blood. What are we, Catholics or cannibals? The worst thing about church is the pressure of penance. When you're Catholic, you basically go into a booth the size of a closet and tell a priest all the things you've done wrong. It's weird just blurting out all of your secrets like that. I like to introduce myself first. Hi, I'm Gabby. I like cheese. I'm a Capricorn. Now tell me a little bit about yourself. It's like Catholic speed dating. I'm a kid, so my sins are pretty lame. I'm like, I borrowed my sister's jeans. The problem is, I don't want to bore him, so I end up making up sins. I lie to a priest. Catholic rites of passages are pretty weird too. There's baptism, when you plunge a naked baby into germ-infested water and cleanse it of its baby sins. Baby sins? Like what? Waking its mom up in the middle of the night and pooping in its pants? And then there's communion. You know, the one where you wear the child bride outfit from Party City. Have you ever been to IKEA?
Yes.
You have? I think it's scary. It's so big. It's like an apartment building. I was standing in someone's bedroom like, I love what you've done with the place. Do you ever try to leave IKEA in a rush? Good luck with that. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. Once you go in, you're never getting out. One time, I tried to ask where the exit was, but I couldn't because I don't speak IKEA. Do you think they speak IKEA in Sweden? I'll meet you at the Malm later. Bring your Svetlanka. Everything in IKEA sounds like one of Donald Trump's ex-wives. One time, we lost my sister Mary in IKEA. 3 hours later, we found her sitting in someone's living room with no electricity, surviving on Swedish meatballs. My dad was with this young guy, Christopher. Now he's trying to be all young again. He came home the other night with a fidget spinner, dabbed, and said, "It's lit." I was like, Dad, the only thing that's lit about you right now is your arthritic knee flare-up. What's the point of Girl Scouts? We don't save anyone. They just send us out on the street to become their cookie pushers. They make girls compete against each other. Whoever can sell the most Girl Scout cookies can win a badge. Why am I pushing your capitalistic agenda, Girl Scouts? There's a song that Girl Scouts sing that goes, "Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold." Is this how we should rate our friends? With Olympic medals? Like, Nancy, thanks for letting me borrow your sweater. Now if you could just stand on the spot and cheer, you're a bronze friend. Susie, on the other hand, you got my cat out of the tree. Gold! Thank you.
Okay, our next comic coming to the stage. She's a low-maintenance vegan who ironically hates nature. at Justin Bieber's house. She is a veteran comic and a female rights activist. Please give it up for Zoe Larkin! Talk amongst yourselves. Eat your onion rings. Is that better? Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The name health class is false advertising. It's classic bait and switch. It's like, I'd love to learn to be healthier, then bam, all they talk about is puberty. It should be renamed TMI 101. Puberty talks at school are so embarrassing, and everything they used to teach us is so outdated. They had to find a VCR for the 1980s video they showed us. It was of a girl with a mullet running down a field playing soccer and then falling down. What does this have to do with getting your period? Why can't they just say, this is how you make babies and this is what comes out of your hoo-ha? To make matters worse, we have a male health teacher. He tries to be funny, but it's just embarrassing. He sings, "Let's talk about sex, baby." And he says things like, "Get ready for your testicles." Do you have a pet?
I don't.
You don't? Well, I do. I think my parents like our new dog more than they like me. They're always baby talking to it and considering its feelings. They treat it like a person. My dog drags his butt around the floor all over the house. The last time I checked, people didn't do that. Recently, we left the dog with our grandma. That was a mistake. She washed it with Head and Shoulders and put gel in its fur. When we came home, he looked like Howard Stern. But more attractive. Donald Trump and Ivanka have a weird relationship. Hold on. Which one is Ivanka again? The daughter or the wife? Oh wait, she's both. A few years ago, Donald Trump said that if she weren't his daughter, he would date her. That's disgusting. I would never date my dad. But there is one thing both Ivanka and I have in common. Both of our dads embarrass us in public. My dad insists on dancing when my friends come over. The last time he did this, my friend thought he was having a seizure. He wouldn't do well in a club with strobe lights. They'd be like, "Call an ambulance." I hate when people talk loud in movies. Specifically, my dad. He falls asleep and then wakes up and wants to be updated on the plot. I'm like, it's Finding Nemo. They find him. I think my sister is becoming my dad. She is obsessed with football. Now she watches the flat screen, eats wings, and yells at the TV with her hands down her pants. When I was in Florida, I saw a lot of older people doing beach yoga. Beach yoga is risky. Sand gets in cracks. And then you get wet and roll around doing yoga in the sand. When you're finished, you look like a chicken cutlet. I've noticed that elderly people seem to have their own yoga poses. the "get off of my lawn" and downward facing body parts. I have 6 grandparents, thanks to divorce. They all try to keep up with technology. I decided they should invent grandparent apps, ones where the only thing they do is share pictures of their grandkids. They could even have a game where they compete with their health issues. My rotator cuff beats out your overactive bladder. Grandma number 3 is a retired nurse. She thinks she can solve any problem with Neosporin and a Band-Aid. I'm like, Grandma, I don't think Neosporin's gonna work. The problem is the national debt. She's also the same grandma who gives us Twizzlers and whiskey when we're sick. Grandma, are you sure you chose to stop working? Grandma number 1 is a former nun. That's right, as in God's ex-wife. She got fired from being a nun because she indulged in ice cream. Oh, she also got a boyfriend. That's right, she cheated on God. She's very organized. She writes everything down in a notebook. I guess she didn't write my name down last week because she forgot to pick me up from school. True story. When we go to restaurants, she writes down the time we should order each course so that it comes out in a timely manner. She's super laid back and single, if anyone's interested. We moved to Montclair, and now my parents are obsessed with being presentable. They make sure the lawn is perfect and are overly nice to try to impress the neighbors. Then my dad goes to their house in his bathrobe and asks to borrow food. 40-somethings should not be allowed to have social media. No one cares about your wine glass on the deck. What do you think that says about you? I have to drink to cope with my family? My mom likes to listen to 90s music and dance in the kitchen. She gyrates at the sink and says things like, "Stop staring, I'm having a moment." I try to clean my room, but my mom always says it doesn't meet her standards. I have organizational systems in place. For instance, my pile of slime. Her idea of clean is leaving the impression that no one lives here. She calls my trophies tchotchkes. I call them accomplishments. Seriously, I have participation awards to display. I'm like, I had to meet the 2 main requirements to win that award. Show up and have a pulse. I don't see any trophies on their dressers. Exactly what have my parents accomplished and what do they have to show for it? The "I drank a whole bottle of wine before dinner" award?
Our next comic coming to the stage wants everyone to write down their social security numbers so she can collect them at the end of the night. When she's not on ChristianMingle.com trying to set up her brother for dates, she watches paint dry and grass grow. Her talents include making minute rice in 58 seconds and rapping the theme song for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Please give it up for the fabulous America Ramos!
Wants to make me great again. I didn't realize I wasn't good enough in the first place. I feel guilty because I can't speak Spanish. I feel like I'm letting everyone down. The other day, a lady approached me and was like, "Buenos noches, señorita, ¿cómo estás?" And I was like, "Backpack, backpack." means hello girl in Spanish. Last year, I made a joke about how I'm never traveling out of the country because of my name. That was simply an alternative fact. My uncle is taking me to Europe for my 16th birthday, and I already prepared a few phrases that will definitely help me in the long run. Je n'aime pas Donald Trump. Universal healthcare es muy bien. Mi favorito thing is free college and Obama. Donald Trump is the only person who thinks he's good at his job and everyone else thinks he sucks. He's like the Adam Sandler of presidents. Why is everything a challenge? The ice bucket challenge, the water flipping challenge, the get out challenge. Isn't life challenging enough? How about the pay your bills on time challenge? Spend time with your kids challenge. If the government really wanted to control us, all they have to do is create a challenge. All right, everyone, hand in your guns and all identification papers challenge. They think they're so slick. They actually think they're getting one past us. The government is like my dad in the middle of the night going to the fridge. We know he's doing it, we just haven't stopped him yet. You have my dad who loves TV, but it's the same thing over and over again. Gangster movies, police shows, detective homicide, the first 48. Dad, are you trying to tell us something? Should we be concerned? Dad, blink twice if the heat is on your tail. I know where to hide the body. Hey, Dad, are you going to get everyone's checks tonight? My dad is always trying to be the big shot when we go out to dinner with other people. What's the swag about? This is the same guy who buys dollar store candy to bring to the movies. He'll grab the check and say, I got this. And then turns to us and says, no one's getting back to school shoes this year. I hate baby talk. When I babysit, I'm like, pay your taxes, face life, suck it up. Listen, it's the big girls' playground, survival of the fittest. I'm not gonna dumb myself down. I refuse to talk to them like they're Sarah Palin. They try to dumb down Bible books as well. How can you possibly summarize these stories in like 3 sentences? Average street man is kind-hearted and can make some miracles happen. Powerful man is not liking that idea, so they try to end him. Bad move on their part because he comes back. Wait, was that the plot for the Bible or Aladdin? Either way, Christians aren't too keen on being compared to Middle Eastern man. Hey, listen, girl in the black shirt over here, do you listen to country music? Sometimes? Wow, I have many friends who listen to country music, and honestly, it starts to get real depressing, repetitive, same words, different title. Follow along if you know the words to this one. Lying in the back of my truck, my family left me, so I became a drunk, hanging with my boys at the bar, spent my welfare check and smoked a cigar, selling our souls to Trump. Bad choice because now Obamacare slumped. Yeah, that's my favorite. Grandparents always have ocean-themed bathrooms, like waves, conch shells, etc. It's like you've become a senior citizen when you have this type of decor. Wait right there, ma'am. You cannot participate in the bingo tournament if you're not over 60 years old. I have fish and seashells in my bathroom. Oh, step right in. My brother-in-law and sister's not here today, but, I love them both dearly. My family had high hopes when my sister met him because he was studying to be a mathematician. Now he's a life coach who delivers pizza on the weekends. in his mom's basement. Ironically, my sister and her husband only eat all organic. Beggars can't be choosers. I hear air is delicious. Scrumptious. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad for their kids. For Easter, their kids had an Easter egg hunt. The eggs were filled with fruit leather and organic sugar-free gummies. After 5 minutes, they stopped looking for the eggs and started eating the Easter grass. It had more flavor. My mom is a big fan of crafts and DIY projects and whatnot. The problem is, when the holiday season just rolls on in, none of us want to help her set up. As soon as me and my siblings hear the boxes moving around in the basement, we go jump in the bushes like Sean Spicer. Over the years, her decorations have become her prized possessions. The house is on fire! Quick, grab these boxes! Forget the cat, Orlando! Help me with this tree! Thank you.